11 protests in Florida could look a lot different in the future, but it all depends on the fate of a new proposed bill from Governor DeSantis. Tonight, community leaders discussed the increased penalties protesters could face under the Combating Violence, Disorder, Looting, and Law Enforcement Act. ABC 27's Christian Thomas joins us live from the Capitol. Christian, what penalties could groups face, and what's the message from community leaders?
Well, if this is passed, any protester at a violent or disorderly assembly could get up to a third-degree felony, mandatory jail time, and other penalties. Local leaders say that's just a step too far.
This proposal threatens to penalize harshly the First Amendment rights of all citizens to free speech, the First Amendment rights of individuals to the freedom of assembly, and it's nothing short, in my opinion, of unconstitutional.
Adner Marcelin is the president of the Tallahassee's branch of the NAACP. He's not happy with Governor DeSantis's proposed bill to prevent violence on the streets of Florida. The governor introduced the bill in September.
You constantly hear these reports of unrest. You hear threats of more unrest, and that's not something that that we want to deal with without having all the tools at our disposal.
His idea increases penalties for violent protesters, unlawful blocking of roadways, and destruction of public property. But Terry Chapman doesn't see it that way.
And if we go out and get involved in a peaceful protest and somebody does something wrong, we're all going to be charged with as felons.
While Marcelin acknowledges what happened earlier this year,
there has been no incidents here other than that isolated incident where someone brought a gun and that turned into something in the protest, and another incident that, where someone drove a car through the protesters in the streets.
Both he and City Commissioner Jeremy Matlow say the governor's proposal compromises the right to protest.
All progress comes from people marching in the streets. All progress has come from people willing to stand up and demand.
Instead of more enforcement, Marcelin says they're looking for solutions.
We need to find a way where we can work together to bridge the gap and to address these issues that are plaguing our community.
Now, Christian, I'm curious, did anyone speak in favor of this bill tonight?
Not tonight, but they did give their support to law enforcement. But one concern that they did have was how to register peaceful protests locally. They want to know how that process works, especially since many of these protests are in response to social injustices that are happening recently. Now, what they do want to know is how to clarify and get that done exactly right from local law enforcement. So they're looking to hear from TPD and LCSO on how to do that. Live in Tallahassee, Christian Thomas, ABC 27.
All right, thank you, Christian.